Brasília is the capital of Brazil, located in the central part of the country. It is the seat of the main federal government, the president, residing in the Palácio do Planalto, the Brazilian Supreme Court, and the Brazilian Parliament. As the world's first capital city conceived by modern standards of urban planning, Brasília is listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Building the city began in 1956 with Lúcio Costa as the principal urban planner and Oscar Niemeyer as the principal architect. When seen from above, the city's shape was designed to resemble an airplane or a bird in flight. Niemeyer designed many of the city's most famous structures, including its palatial government buildings and the Cathedral of Brasília, pictured at right. Brasília is the federal capital of Brazil and seat of government of the Federal District. The city is located high in the Brazilian highlands in the country's central west region. It was founded by President Juscelino Kubitschek on April 21, 1960, to serve as the new national capital. Brasília is estimated to be Brazil's third most populous city after São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Among major Latin American cities, it has the highest GDP per capita. Brasília was a planned city developed by Lúcio Costa, Oscar Niemeyer, and Joaquim Cardoso in 1956 in a scheme to move the capital from Rio de Janeiro to a more central location. The landscape architect was Roberto Burle Marx. The city's design divides it into numbered blocks as well as sectors for specified activities, such as the hotel sector, the banking sector, and the embassy sector. Brasília was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987 due to its modernist architecture and uniquely artistic urban planning. It was named City of Design by UNESCO in October 2017 and has been part of the Creative Cities Network since then. It is notable for its white-colored, modern architecture, designed by Oscar Niemeyer. All three branches of Brazil's federal government are located in the city: executive, legislative and judiciary. Brasília also hosts 124 foreign embassies. The city's international airport connects it to all other major Brazilian cities and some international destinations, and it is the third busiest airport in Brazil. It was one of the main host cities of the 2014 FIFA World Cup and hosted some of the football matches during the 2016 Summer Olympics. It also hosted the 2013 FIFA Confederations Cup. Laid out in the shape of an airplane, its fuselage is the monumental axis, a pair of wide avenues flanking a large park. In the cockpit is Parque dos Três Poderes, named for the three branches of government surrounding it. Brasília has a unique legal status, as it is an administrative region rather than a municipality like other cities in Brazil. The name Brasília is often used as a synonym for the federal district as a whole, which is divided into 33 administrative regions, one of which, Plano Piloto, includes the area of the originally planned city and its federal government buildings. The entire federal district is considered by IBGE to make up Brasília's city area, and the local government considers the entirety of the district plus 12 neighboring municipalities in the state of Goiás to be its metropolitan area. In 1960, it formally became Brazil's capital. Brasília is located in the Federal District, which has the same borders as the city. The district is surrounded by the Brazilian state of Goiás. The city is not a traditional municipality by Brazilian law. It has received both praise and criticism for its attempt at creating a city by design rather than through organic growth, as well as for its impractical utopian conception. The Brazilian capital is the only city in the world built in the 20th century to be awarded by UNESCO, a United Nations agency since 1987, the status of being a World Heritage Site. In order to be considered for World Heritage status, a site must fulfill one of 10 standards for qualification. Brasília fulfilled 2. To represent a masterpiece of human creative genius. To be an outstanding example of a type of building, architectural or technological ensemble or landscape which illustrates a significant stage in human history. Created from nothing in the center of the country, Brasília is a landmark in the history of town planning, from the layout of the residential and administrative districts to the symmetry of the buildings themselves, which are designed to harmonize with the city's overall design. The official buildings, in particular, are innovative and imaginative. The city sits at an elevation of 1,000 meters, 3,300 feet, and more, high on the Brazilian highlands in the country's center-western region. Paranoa Lake, a large artificial lake, was built to increase the amount of water available and to maintain the region's humidity. It has a marina, and hosts wakeboarders and windsurfers. Diving can also be practiced, and one of the main attractions is Vila Amauri, an old village submerged in the lake. This is where the first construction workers of Brasilia used to live. Brasilia is associated with several significant declarations in the international political and social field, including the Brasilia Declaration of the IBSA Dialogue Forum, 2003, signed by the foreign ministers of India, Brazil, and South Africa, IBSA, regarding representation at the United Nations Security Council. Brasilia Declaration on the Protection of Refugees and Stateless Persons in the Americas, 2010. Brasilia Declaration on Child Labor, 2013, issued by the Third Global Conference on Child Labor, hosted in Brasilia by the Brazilian government. Brasilia Declaration of Judges on Water Justice, 2018, adopted in 2018 during the Conference of Judges and Prosecutors on Water Justice at the 8th World Water Forum, described as a landmark in the development of water justice jurisprudence. The 15th Conference of Defense Ministers of the Americas, meeting in Brasilia in 2022, issued a declaration condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The major roles of construction and of services, government, communications, banking and finance, food production, entertainment, and legal services, in Brasilia's economy reflect the city's status as a governmental rather than an industrial center. Industries connected with construction, food processing, and furnishings are important, as are those associated with publishing, printing, and computer software. Besides being the political center, Brasilia is an important economic center. Most economic activity in the federal capital results from its administrative function. Its industrial planning is studied carefully by the government of the federal district. Being a city registered by UNESCO, the government in Brasilia has opted to encourage the development of non-polluting industries such as software, film, video, and gemology among others, with emphasis on environmental preservation and maintaining ecological balance, preserving the city property. Industries in the city include construction, Paulo Octavio, Via Construcos, and Irmãos Gravia among others, food processing, Perdigão, Sadia, furniture making, recycling, Novo Rio, Recam, Latasa, and others, pharmaceuticals, União Química, and graphic industries. The main agricultural products produced in the city are coffee, guavas, strawberries, oranges, lemons, papayas, soybeans, and mangoes. It has over 110,000 cows and it exports wood products worldwide. The city's planned design included specific areas for almost everything, including accommodation, hotel sectors north and south. New hotel facilities are being developed elsewhere, such as the hotels and tourism sector north, located on the shores of Lake Paranoa. As a venue for political events, music performances, and movie festivals, Brasilia is a cosmopolitan city, with around 124 embassies, a wide range of restaurants and a complete infrastructure ready to host any kind of event. Not surprisingly, the city stands out as an important business/tourism destination, which is an important part of the local economy, with dozens of hotels spread around the federal capital. Traditional parties take place throughout the year. The Cathedral of Brasília in the capital of the Federative Republic of Brazil, is an expression of the atheist architect Oscar Niemeyer and the structural engineer Joaquim Cardoso. This concrete framed hyperboloid structure, seems with its glass roof reaching up, open, to the heavens. The Palácio da Alvorada is the official residence of the President of Brazil. The palace was designed, along with the rest of the city of Brasília, by Oscar Niemeyer and inaugurated in 1958. One of the first structures built in the Republic's new capital city, The Alvorada lies on a peninsula at the shore of Lake Paranoa. The Palácio do Planalto is the official workplace of the President of Brazil. It is located at the Praça dos Três Poderes in Brasília. As the seat of government, the term Planalto is often used as a metonym for the executive branch of government. The main working office of the President of the Republic is in the Palácio do Planalto. The President and his or her family do not live in it, rather in the official residence, the Palácio da Alvorada. Besides the President, senior advisors also have offices in the Planalto, including the Vice President of Brazil and the Chief of Staff. The other ministries are along the Esplanada dos Ministérios. The architect of the Palácio do Planalto was Oscar Niemeyer, creator of most of the important buildings in Brasília. The idea was to project an image of simplicity and modernity using fine lines and waves to compose the columns and exterior structures. The palace is 4 stories high, and has an area of 36,000 square meters. 4 other adjacent buildings are also part of the complex. The city has 6 international schools: American School of Brasília, Brasília International School, BIS, Escola dos Nacos, Swiss International School, SIS, Lycée François Mitterrand and Maple Bear Canadian School. August 2016 will see the opening of a new international school, the British School of Brasília. Brasília has 2 universities, 3 university centers, and many private colleges. The main tertiary educational institutions are Universidade de Brasília, University of Brasília, Universidade Católica de Brasília, Catholic University of Brasília, Centro Universitário de Brasília, Centro Universitário Euro-Americano, UniEuro, Centro Universitário do Distrito Federal, Universidade Paulista, and Instituto de Educação Superior de Brasília. The average commute time on public transit in Brasília, for example to and from work, on a weekday is 96 minutes. 31% of public transit riders ride for more than 2 hours every day. The average amount of time people wait at a stop or station for public transit is 28 minutes, while 61% of riders wait for over 20 minutes on average every day. The average distance people usually ride in a single trip with public transit is 15.1 kilometers, 9.4 miles, while 50% travel for over 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles in a single direction. Brasília, Presidente Juscelino Kubitschek International Airport serves the metropolitan area with major domestic and international flights. It is the 3rd busiest Brazilian airport based on passengers and aircraft movements. Because of its strategic location, it is a civil aviation hub for the rest of the country. This results in a large number of takeoffs and landings, and it is not unusual for flights to be delayed in a holding pattern before landing. The airport is serviced by domestic and regional airlines, TAM, GOL, Azul, WebJet, Trip, and Avianca, in addition to a number of international carriers. Highways and air routes link Brasília with the rest of the nation, and there is regular national and international air service. Railways connect the city with Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. Within the city itself, automobiles and buses are the main forms of urban transportation because of the primacy afforded expressways in the city's design and the considerable distances between inner-city neighborhoods. The city also has an underground transit system. The main stadiums are the Brasília National Stadium Main Garrincha, which was re-inaugurated on May 18, 2013, the Sarajevo Stadium, home for Brasiliense, and the Bezerra Stadium, home for Gama. Brasília was one of the host cities of the 2014 FIFA World Cup and 2013 FIFA Confederations Cup, for which Brazil is the host nation. Brasília hosted the opening of the Confederations Cup and hosted 7 World Cup games. Brasília also hosted the football tournaments during the 2016 Summer Olympics held in Rio de Janeiro. Brasília hosts a varied assortment of artworks from great artists like Bruno Giorgi, Alfredo Seschiati, Athos Bolco, Maren Peretti, Volpi, De Cavalcanti, Victor Brecheret, and Burl Marx, whose works have been integrated into the city's architecture, making it a unique landscape. A scene for political events, music performances, and movie festivals, Brasília is a cosmopolitan city, with around 90 embassies, a wide range of restaurants, and complete infrastructure ready to host any kind of event. The city is a growing business and tourism destination that is a rising segment of the local economy, including dozens of hotels spread around the national capital. The cultural complex of the Republic, Complexo Cultural da República in Portuguese, is a cultural center located along the monumental axis in Brasília. It consists of the National Library of Brasília and the National Museum of the Republic. The National Library of Brasília, Biblioteca Nacional de Brasília in Portuguese, occupies an area of 16,744 square yards, consisting of reading and study rooms, an auditorium, and a collection of over 300,000 items. The National Museum of the Republic, Museu Nacional da República in Portuguese, consists of a 17,341 square yard exhibit area, two 780-seat auditoriums and a laboratory. The space is mainly used to display temporary art exhibits. Paranoa Lake is a giant artificial lake built in order to increase the amount of water available to the region. It holds the second largest marina in Brazil and is home to the capital's wakeboard and windsurf practitioners. The Juscelino Kubitschek Bridge, also known as the President J.K. Bridge or the J.K. Bridge, crosses Lake Paranoa. It is named for Juscelino Kubitschek de Oliveira, the former president of Brazil. It was designed by architect Alexander Chan and structural engineer Mario Villaverde. The bridge consists of three 200-foot-tall asymmetrical steel arches that crisscross diagonally. It is 3/4 of a mile long and was completed in 2002 at a cost of $56.8 million. It has a pedestrian walkway and is accessible to bicyclists and skaters. The Cathedral of Brasília is an aesthetic expression of the architect Oscar Niemeyer. On May 31, 1970, the glass-roofed cathedral was finished with only the 230-foot diameter of the circular area visible. This concrete-framed structure is a result of 16 identical assembled concrete columns, having hyperbolic sections and weighing 90 tons, representing two hands moving upwards to heaven. Traditional parties take place throughout the year. In June, there are large festivals celebrating Catholic saints, such as Saint Anthony and Saint Peter. Throughout the year there are local, national, and international events spread through the city. Christmas is widely celebrated and New Year's Eve usually hosts major events. The Brasília Cultural Foundation sponsors many national meetings in the arts and letters, and several foreign information centers are available. The National Theatre features dramatic, symphonic, and operatic works. Historical institutions include the Museum of Brasília, with a historical record of Brasília's creation, the Federal Reserve Museum, and the Image and Sound Museum of the Institute of History and Geography. Brasília is home to two major soccer teams, Brasiliense Futebol Clube and Sociedade Esportiva do Gama. The main football stadiums are the Estadio Main Garrincha and the Sarajevo. Thank you for watching this video.